Ladies and gentlemen, the New York Times article will be below. This is hilarious and amusing, and I'm simply going to give you President Trump's perspective and the Trump Republican perspective, and also the perspective of a former Bernie Sanders supporter who now supports President Trump. There's a direct line between Bernie Sanders 2016, possibly 2020, but definitely 2016, and President Trump, especially when it comes to foreign policy. President Trump on May 1st, 2021, negotiated a deal to get us out of America's longest-running counterinsurgency conflict. That's one of the primary links between Bernie Sanders and Trump. The only caveat being that Bernie Sanders didn't have the spine or the will or the integrity to back Trump on the withdrawal. I think he said something like, it has to be an orderly withdrawal. And that was in reference to another pullout in another country. So President Trump is basically did what Bernie Sanders promised to do in terms of foreign policy. And he's a lot better on other issues. For me, it's a million times better on other issues in terms of foreign policy. I don't think Bernie Sanders would have been the first president to step foot in North Korea. And I don't think he would have done a whole bunch of other things that Trump was able to accomplish. Record low unemployment being one of them. In hindsight, I've come to those conclusions because Trump accomplished a great many things that Bernie Sanders either wanted or stated that he or stated he wanted to achieve. Anyway, talking about wealth inequality, when you talk about wealth inequality, and that's your whole shtick, and you ignore the fact that Trump presided over, because of his policies, record low unemployment, the Dallas Federal Reserve said his policies led to an economy that was just soaring. And there are other articles as well. Anyway, I can go on and on. The reason the preface here is long-winded because people ask, how do you go from Bernie Sanders to Trump? There's a lot of reasons, especially foreign policy. And economic policy, Trump, look what's taking place now with inflation. Look what's taking place with Democratic-run states tanking their own economies and then relying on government assistance. Now we have, because of that inflationary concerns, usually inflation happens when you have a growing economy. The economy is growing too fast. This is happening when the economy is not growing fast enough, and because of the stimulus payments, you have this bizarre phenomenon, inflation during a time when you have a horrible economy. But anyway, and that's not necessarily true. You have inflation when the economy tanks also in other countries. But the economy generally is healthy. It's just that we've tanked our economy. Anyway, for science, hit subscribe to this channel right now. We'll eventually get to my point. New York Attorney General joins criminal inquiry into Trump Organization. The move increased the investigative muscle looking into the former president and his family business. This is what's taking place. As a former Bernie Sanders supporter, I can tell you, the Democratic Party will utilize, from what I've seen, government agencies, every bureaucratic advantage they have, every advantage in media. Notice there's a phrase that's being utilized, the power imbalance when it comes to public relations. That power imbalance. You have Hollywood, everybody from Jimmy Kimmel to James Comey. Everybody from Jimmy Kimmel to Jimmy Comey. Everybody from social media, everything from social media algorithms to publications like the Washington Post and the New York Times, MSNBC, CNN, cable stations. You have pretty much almost every element of American politics, especially establishment American politics. Then you have, of course, the Republicans who voted alongside Trump 90% of the time, like Cheney and Kinzinger and others, according to 538's vote tracker. That link will be below. Who state, I'm opposing Trump. You voted alongside Trump 60% of the time. But 5 minutes in, when Bernie Sanders was going up against Clinton in 2016, and my articles were going viral in The Hill, The Huffington Post, Salon, and other publications, given a stamp of approval by editors at those publications. At the Huffington Post, I didn't just self-publish the way a lot of journalists and contributors. Every one of my articles throughout 2015 and 2016 was given a stamp of approval by the editors there. Okay, numerous editors. Same with The Hill and Salon. Salon went to me, and I have the utmost respect for the editor at Salon and the editors at the Huffington Post and The Hill. But anyway, they cover up their crimes, their potential crimes, their scandals and controversies. Adam Schiff, before he pumped Trump Russia, said that Clinton's server use was completely fine. That was his job. They speak with one voice. Anyone who deviates from the message Tulsi Gabbard is groomed by Russia. They demand absolute obedience and allegiance, not just from politicians, but especially from voters. You saw what Joe Biden said to Charlemagne the God. You saw what happened. It was the most insulting thing of all time, and of course, immediately the Washington Post and others said, so it's fine. Trump is worse. No, he's not. Trump never said that. Actually, the best thing about Trump is that he doesn't care who you vote for. He doesn't say, you're not who you are, or give you a guilt trip. Democrats demand obedience and allegiance. And they're able to get that, especially within the ranks of the Democratic Party, through their immense public relations machine. There was an attorney, a district attorney or a top prosecutor in New York. He was given the task of investigating the Clinton Foundation in 2016. He found nothing. Okay. That foundation has been in the news, has had controversies for years and years and years. There was a book, Clinton Cash, that talked about, that's actually a lot more accurate than the Steele dossier, that talked about endless pay-to-play schemes where literally you're giving money into the foundation, whether it's Uranium One. Then President Obama doesn't veto the sale, according to Snopes, the Bible of Democrats, doesn't veto the sale of 20% of U.S. uranium capacity. Gee, do you think maybe it had something to do with the millions of dollars from Uranium One going into that foundation? That's a New York Times article saying how happy Putin was to get 20% of U.S. uranium capacity, and yellow cake was shipped out of the country, according to that New York Times article. Okay, that article will be below in the description section. That scandal alone should have been investigated. Okay, there was a person blowing the whistle on that one also. Okay, he testified before Congress. And immediately Democrats said, well, that's just his word. That's his opinion. And then they worshipped the opinion or the hearsay or gossip or rumor of Alexander Downer, an ambassador that said that George Papadopoulos told him about the DNC emails. Okay, he wasn't even under oath. That other man pertaining to Uranium One and his congressional testimony, he was under oath. But see, the thing is, they're utilizing the Southern District to go after Trump. They want to knock him out of the 2024 contest. They want to do anything possible. They're trying to look at his taxes. They're saying that his organization, just now, you understand, the Clinton Foundation and you're looking at like Hunter's emails with actual pay-to-play schemes within the emails. You're looking at the campaign emails, the Clinton campaign, the campaign emails with 500 conflicts of interest that talks of 500 conflicts of interest, and they don't care. But they can't. Here, Donald Trump and his family came under increasing pressure from New York investigators after the Attorney General's office said Tuesday it was working alongside the Manhattan District Attorney in an ongoing criminal fraud investigation. What? The Trump organization pertaining to what just now? Where's the evidence that any insurance company or any bank, the long-running criminal investigation by the Manhattan District Attorney has focused on an array of potential financial crimes at the Trump organization, including tax and bank-related frauds? Where's the evidence from the IRS or from banks? They're just searching and fishing and trying to find something. You have emails, pay to play. You have one email saying there's 500 conflicts of interest. You have an email from Hunter that says, how can you use your influence on behalf of the company? Where are the emails that show that Trump is up to nefarious, no good practices, criminal acts? Where's the evidence? I mean, it's unbelievable how they're going. And this is something like Democrats think that they have the ability to do so because they run politics. The Republicans, it's just a matter of time before Trump Republicans take over the House of Representatives, hopefully the Senate. The country becomes a tad bit more objective, dare I say conservative when it comes to media coverage. And then you have Republicans investigating Democrats using city attorneys. And if you bring up the investigations, like House investigations of Clinton, it's like, well, both Clintons are an endless stream of almost certain criminality that they just slither out of. And if it's not criminality, it's just pure inept failures. But you look, Axios, New York AG announces criminal investigation into Trump Organization. For what? For what? Potential bank, tax, and insurance fraud. Where are the insurance companies? Insurance fraud, the insurance company finds out before anyone else. Bank fraud, the lender finds out before anyone else. Tax fraud, the IRS is on your behind before anyone else. What are they searching for? Oh, they're just trying to harm him and hurt him politically and financially. Well, financially, it's not going to work, but politically, it won't work either. Trump is the Obi-Wan Kenobi of politics. Give me your thoughts below. Hit subscribe right now. To my new Patreons, thank you. Your Patreon support is so incredibly helpful. And it's so difficult now being a content creator. You just can't express yourself. I mean, I think I do a pretty good job walking on eggshells, but it's getting increasingly difficult. So your Patreon support is so helpful. If you want to support my voice long term, my Patreon is below in the pinned comment.